the Junior Board of Directors is proud to support Faribault Community Television.
Hi, I'm Pam Elson with First United Bank, and we are a proud sponsor of Faribault Community Television. Shop the Bow is a year-round initiative focused on impacting our local businesses, large and small, and supporting local companies who pay taxes, provide jobs, and contribute much to the fabric of Faribault. High-quality goods and services are available right here from our neighbors and friends. Look to our members first for holiday purchases, as we will come out of the other side of 2021 much stronger. From gifts, gas, and takeout, or a new car and home improvements, haircuts, or Christmas portrait, it all adds up.
As we approach the holidays, you're likely making more purchases as you seek out the perfect gifts for your loved ones. This is a great time to shop locally. When you support local businesses, you'll get great customer service and product knowledge, giving you the chance to learn more about the items you've purchased and the passion behind them. You might even learn an interesting how-to or a valuable piece of information regarding the product, or be directed to a product the shop owner might also refer you to, or that you might not have thought of. A local shop owner might also be a great resource to ask for referrals to other shops. Instead of paying hefty shipping fees, you'll save that money and leave the store with your item, avoiding long waits or worrying about it arriving late. By shopping locally this holiday season and all year round, you're also helping to boost the local economy. In fact, 70 cents of every dollar spent locally stays in our community. You're also helping to boost the local economy and encourage community vibrancy and uniqueness. Local businesses generate revenue that stays in our community. The owners and staff are often volunteers and supporters of local events, sports, and other things that make this a great place to live. They create jobs and they support other local businesses. This holiday season, spend some time at area shops and show support for innovation, independent local business owners, and our entire community. Then tell people where you shopped, shout it from the rooftops, and let them know that you had a great, positive experience shopping in Faribault. Promote the stores, encourage others to go there, spread the word, and share community pride.
2020 and 2021 have been difficult for us all for very different reasons. Here at the Chamber, we look forward to 2022 and have recently added some pretty heavy priorities to our plates from our Vision Task Force. Such priorities include home ownership opportunities for working families, daycare expansion, as well as a continued strong partnership with Faribault Public Schools and South Central College surrounding excellence in education. If you'd like to be involved or learn more about any of our initiatives, including these, please contact myself or Nort at 507-334-4381.
Looking back, the last 18 months have been challenging for the world and our community in many ways, but we're proud of the way that Faribault came together, supported each other and local businesses, and found innovative solutions. With a bit of creativity and small modifications, we were able to host nearly all of our annual events over the past year, celebrate, and even grow. The Faribault Main Street program partnered with the EDA to provide $25,000 worth of microgrants in downtown Faribault to help businesses open or expand. The Upstairs Downtown Tour demonstrates how beautiful downtown living can be. A new mural brightens up the historic district and reminds us all of what's important, and several new businesses have opened their doors. As we continue to navigate an ever-changing world, we're proud of these positive developments and of the Faribault community and excited for what's to come. Faribault is poised for great things in the future.
Hi, I'm Dr. Corey Miller, eye physician and surgeon with Ritchie Eye Clinic and LASIK Center. Today I want to talk to you about a topic that I see every day and that is the most common surgery I do, and that's cataract surgery and cataracts. So first let's talk about what actually is a cataract. There's a lot of misconception about what that is, and people know that term, but they don't necessarily know what a cataract is. So let me show you some pictures and we'll walk through describing what a cataract is. So this is a picture of a normal eye. We have the front part of the eye, which is the cornea. Then behind that, we have the colored part of the eye, which is the iris. And finally, sitting behind that is a natural lens. And it's this natural lens that over time, as we age, becomes more yellow and more cloudy. And when it starts to become more cloudy and yellow, that's when we call it a cataract. So this lens normally is clear and it helps focus the light. And so as we're young, it allows the light to focus on our retina and help us see clearly. In this picture back here is the retina, and this is the optic nerve. Light passes through the front part of the eye, through the lens, to the back of the cornea, goes to your nerve and back to your brain to help you see. So this cataract, you can think of as kind of like a dirty windshield of your car. It will blur the vision and make it harder for you to see. So a lot of people wonder, how do I know if I have cataracts? Well, when it's early enough, you don't really know. When your eye doctor looks at your eyes, they can see some early discoloration of that lens. And that lets us know that you have an early cataract, but most of the times at that point, you're not going to notice any symptoms. Now, as it slowly gets more and more discolored, it'll affect your vision more and more. And so what people often describe or often notice is that at night they find their vision is a little bit worse. So sometimes that's the headlights of cars coming at you. They notice more halos. Those headlights are very blurred. Or sometimes people describe starbursts, where there's kind of points of light coming off of those headlights. All of which may be a symptom of cataracts. Now, as it continues to get worse, it'll blur the vision in any situation. So people find that even with glasses on, they're no longer able to see clearly in the distance like they used to, or even able to see clearly up close. All of those may be reasons that your cataracts are growing, or reasons to get an eye exam to see if cataracts are bothering you. When your cataracts get to the point that they are causing your vision to be blurred and interfering with your normal daily life, that's when we can consider doing cataract surgery. So cataract surgery is an outpatient surgery, so it's done the same day and you go home the same day. It's a surgery that only takes about 15 minutes to do, and it can restore your vision. Let's talk a little bit more about what cataract surgery entails. So with cataract surgery, we numb the eye in a number of different ways, so you don't feel any of the procedure. Oftentimes you do see the bright light of the microscope, and what we do is we make a couple small incisions into the cornea, the front part of the eye, and then we go in with this handheld-like vacuum. We break up the cataract and suck it out in a bunch of tiny little pieces. After we take out the cataract, what's left behind is this capsule. This capsule here creates a natural pocket for us to put in the new clear plastic lens. And that new lens that goes in the capsule is what will focus the light and help you see better after the surgery. Now, you may have heard of different types of or options when it comes to cataract surgery. The standard cataract surgery is covered by insurance, and it uses a lens that gets people to see well at one distance. It does not correct any astigmatism, however, and so some people still need glasses for their best distance vision, and they need glasses to help them see up close. So that is the standard approach. And with the standard approach, the vision quality and clarity is very good, but glasses help them achieve that great vision. Now, there are other options for people who say, I don't really want to wear glasses for distance, or I don't want to have to wear distance glasses or reading glasses. For those people, sometimes some other lenses are good options for them. Now, with any of those options, there are some trade-offs. There are no perfect lenses out there, unfortunately, and nothing that I like to say can bring the eyes of our youth back or make us see like we were 20 again. And so there are a few trade-offs. But for people who want to be free of glasses for most of what they do, there are some good lens options for them. So when it comes to someone's astigmatism, that is where the shape of the eye is more like the shape of a football, if you will. There's a steep side and a side that's not so steep. Unlike someone without astigmatism, where the shape of the eye is perfectly round, like a basketball or a soccer ball. So the astigmatism is something that can be corrected with glasses, and there are lenses that we can correct that astigmatism for at the time of surgery. And so those lenses are kind of an upgrade type of lens, but can get people to see well and correct that astigmatism. Now, there are other types of lenses that have kind of multifocal or extended depth of focus lenses. Those are kind of words, maybe complicated words, that essentially mean that you can help people see in the distance, see kind of in an intermediate computer range, as well as more up close kind of reading level with minimal need for glasses. Those lenses, for some people, can be very good lenses where they can get great vision and minimal need for glasses. But again, I tell people that there's no perfect lens, and sometimes you still have to wear glasses to achieve kind of that better vision. But if you're curious about any of those options, or if you're curious about whether or not you have cataracts, or maybe you're having blurred vision, you want to know, are cataracts bad enough that I want to have cataract surgery? Those are all good questions to talk with your eye doctor about. And if you see me, we'll walk you through all these options and determine what is the best option for you. So when somebody sees me for a cataract evaluation, I take a look at the overall health of their eyes. I look at their front surface of their cornea. I look at their cataract, and I look at the back of the eye and the retina and the optic nerve to make sure that the eye is healthy, or make sure that we're seeing everything that might be going on that might affect them after the cataract surgery. Once I've kind of thoroughly looked at somebody's eye and determined whether or not their cataracts are significant enough that we should do cataract surgery, then we sit down and talk about the different options. We also measure people's eyes prior to cataract surgery to determine if the front surface of the eye is regular, or if determine the length of the eye. We take a bunch of sophisticated measurements that help us determine the correct lens to place in each patient. So cataract surgery is very individualized to each patient, and so we get everyone their best outcome possible. My goal with any cataract surgery is, number one, to allow the patient to see as best they possibly can, and to have them be happy with their vision. And so for some people, that means just doing standard cataract surgery and having glasses and getting them great vision that way. For other people, that's using one of those more astigmatism correcting lenses, or the multifocal lenses, all of which my goal is to get people to see as best they possibly can. So if you have any questions about your eyes, or whether or not you have a cataract, feel free to come in and see us at Ritchie Eye Clinic and LASIK Center, and we'll be happy to take care of you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, this is Chad Barman with Faribault Parks and Rec. Wanting to highlight some upcoming opportunities as the weather gets colder and we look to a few more indoor activities. We will continue our pickleball program weekly, Monday through Friday, in the morning about 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then also at night from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We have all the equipment and things, so if you're new to the program, swing on by and we'll get you started. We also have our open gym program and our open skate program. This year, we've actually built a couple of web pages for everybody's convenience so that you can see up-to-date information regarding when we have those opportunities. And obviously, when the weather gets cold and we can put down the ice out at Jefferson, we will have the warming house open as well. Some enrichment programs that we're going to do throughout the wintertime. We're going to have our Hometown Holidays program, December 2nd through the 4th. That's going to include our parade at 5:30 on Saturday night. And we're going to have our Tuneful Tots music program at Washington once again. That is for kids 1 year old through 4 years old. And it's a 5-week program, 1 day per week. For more information on that, feel free to check out the Buckham Bulletin or the website here at Faribault Parks and Rec. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jessica, the pharmacy manager at Hy-Vee in Faribault. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about our supplement section. So we have a pretty large section of vitamins and herbal supplements here at Hy-Vee, and you're probably wondering, should you take them and which ones should you take? So there's a wide variety. Some of them are helpful and some of them are not. And that is really going to be a conversation that you need to have with one of us pharmacists here. So a lot of people are coming in looking for things like vitamin C this time of year. That is a pretty good supplement for you. You can get vitamin C from your diet, but if you don't feel like you get enough, that is a good supplement that we do sell here at Hy-Vee that you could stop and purchase. A lot of supplements are maybe prescribed for you by your doctor and not covered by insurance. So stopping and talk to us, doctors often prescribe vitamin B for energy and things like that. So you can stop in and talk to one of us to select the correct B vitamin for you. Another great supplement that everyone especially in Minnesota, should take is vitamin D. We do have several different strengths of vitamin D here at the pharmacy. So again, stop and ask one of us. But with not getting enough sunshine, especially in these winter months, it's a great supplement to pick up if you're looking for something to maybe boost your energy, or you've heard that your vitamin D level is low and you just don't get outside enough. Vitamin D would be a good one. We also sell that in combination with calcium, and a calcium supplement is also a good one for most people. But again, that can interact with some of your medications. So you will want to stop and talk to a pharmacist before you pick up those supplements, just in case there would be some type of interaction with your medications. The supplements that are sold here at Hy-Vee are generally, reputable, and so those are, good ones to talk to us about. If you're buying something off the internet, it would be worth maybe running it by one of us at Hy-Vee before you purchase it. Some of those sites are selling like knockoff brands and things that might not be legitimate. They also may have things in them that would interact with your medications, especially if you're on a blood thinner or a heart medication. Definitely talk to your pharmacist before you order anything over the internet. Or if you stop in to pick up these supplements, stop by and talk to one of us and we'll get you set up with the right ones. Happy holidays.
First United Bank has been supporting the Faribault community for over 100 years. Few benefits of banking with a community bank like First United are that we have the local experienced staff that care about our customers. And we also have the ability for you to stop in anytime to ask a question and get a quick answer. We're very proud to be a part of this community and support our local businesses. So with the holiday season upon us, please remember to shop local.
Molly with Riverbend Nature Center, and in December we have some awesome programs for you. On December 4th we have Bagels and Birds. That's a free event for all ages. Come on out and help yourself to complimentary bagels provided by the Inn at Shattuck, and watch birds from our Windows on the Wild viewing area. On December 14th, we have Little Sprouts, a parent-child class where you can learn all about animal signs and go look for them outside. On December 15th, we have our Lunch and Learn program, and this month is Katie Andrag, Riverbend Naturalist and Operations Manager, and she will be talking about how to identify different birds. On Friday, December 17th, we have Homeschool Science Days, animal tracking, as well as Rocks Rock. So come on out and learn about those fun topics. And if you want to register for both, you can bring your lunch and enjoy it here in the Interpretive Center. We also have Winter Break Adventure Days. So on December 22nd, 28th, 29th, and 30th, your kindergarten through 5th grader can come on out and enjoy nature outside with a naturalist for the day. Those are pay what you can. Thank you to the Henkel Foundation and the Riverbend Scholarship Fund to make that possible. So make sure you register for those in advance at rbnc.org/Adventure Day. And we also have our Little Sprouts program on Tuesday the 28th as well. We have lots of really fun programming for you in December. Thank you so much to everyone who has donated for our year-end campaign, as well as for Give to the Max Day. We have met our matches, which is really exciting, so thank you for that, and thank you for continuing to support Riverbend.
Hey everyone, it's me, Miss Denny, your favorite children's librarian. I'm here to tell you about everything that is happening at your library in December. Wow, it's already the last month of 2021. I can't believe it. So we are excited. We're going to be welcoming back our good friend, Kevin Strauss, in December. Dates to be determined, but he'll be doing 2 performances of the Itsy Bitsy program that he does for us about water conservation. Those will be on Zoom, and you can register and interact live with Kevin on Zoom and learn more about ways that kids and adults can save water and money, and also have some fun hearing some great Itsy Bitsy stories. So watch for that. We'll advertise that as soon as the dates are solidified, and we'll be happy to have you join us. Our Teen Advisory Board will be meeting in December on the 6th. That is a Monday at 4:30. And if you are a youth in grades 6 through 12 and you're interested in joining the Teen Advisory Board, or TAB as we call it for short, please get in touch with me. I would love to hear from you, and I'll get you all the info and answer all your questions and get you an application. Our 2 book clubs, Books and Brownies for grades 2 through 5 and Pizza and Pages for grades 6 through 12, will be having their annual mixer meeting in December. Pizza and Pages and Books and Brownies will only have 1 meeting in December, and it will be a joint meeting on Monday, December 13 at 4:30. So this does require registration, mostly because I need to know how much pizza and how many brownies I need to have ready for you guys. And the assignment for the mixer meeting is to read any children's picture book of your choice. We have a lot of those here at the library. They're all in the E section, E for everybody, or in the nonfiction. So you can choose a fiction picture book or a nonfiction picture book. And you might want to reread a favorite from when you were small, or ask a grown-up to what their favorite was and read that one, or maybe you want to browse and find a brand new favorite. Either way, I hope you will let me know if you are coming. Register by calling the library or sending me an email, And we'd love to have you at the Mixer meeting Monday, December 13 at 4:30. Our Dungeons and Dragons Club for youth in grades 6 through 12 is so popular that it is full. That's right. There's a wait list now for the D&D club. But if you are really interested and you aren't part of the club and you want to be, please email or call us and we'll add you to that wait list. And you can get in as soon as a spot opens up. Well, we're having so much fun with that D&D club. Our weekly read will continue in December. We have been reading the classic book, The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Graham. Those videos drop every Thursday at 4 o'clock on our YouTube page. I share another chapter. So if you've missed it, don't worry. They're all right there on YouTube. Just look for Buckham Memorial Library and then search for the playlist, The Weekly Read, The Wind in the Willows. Fairytale Fridays will continue in December as well. Every Friday at 4 o'clock, I share another classic fairy tale by the Grimm's brothers or Hans Christian Andersen or some other ones as well. And you can find them on our YouTube page or our Facebook page. Just look for the playlist Fairytale Fridays. New ones again every Friday at 4. The Faribault Ukulele Network, or FUN, as we call it for short, will meet in December on Thursday the 9th and Thursday the 23rd at 6 o'clock. Now, FUN is for adults that are 16 and up and are experienced ukulele players. So you must know how to play at least 5 chords, hold, tune, and strum a ukulele in order to join the group and feel comfortable playing. But if you're interested, if you fit that criteria and you want to join FUN, you want to get in touch with Alan here at the library, you can give her a call or send her an email and she'll get you all the info that you need. And then speaking of Alan, the 2021 Winter Reading Program for Adults, aka Buckham Book Bingo, formerly known as Hot Reads for Cold Nights, is kicking off on Monday, January 3rd. And it's super easy to sign up. All you have to do is stop in the library. Anytime we're open, you can register and you'll get a Buckham Book Bingo sheet so that you can keep track of your reading activities. And when you finish your Buckham Book Bingo sheet and you've completed all the fun reading activities, you bring it back to us and drop it in the completed bin and you'll be entered for a chance to win a Kindle Fire. Ooh, that's super exciting. That's the grand prize. So you have from January 3rd until March 31st, that's 3 whole months to sign up and to complete the activities, and just make sure you get your completed bingo sheet back to us by March 31st. So you're entered in that fun grand prize drawing for a Kindle Fire. If you have any questions about anything going on here at your library, you can sure give us a call anytime we're open. 507-334-2089. The library is open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we're closed on Sundays. You can also email us. There's a generic library email and it's library@ci.faribault.mn.us. And then of course, you're gonna wanna keep track of us on our website, faribault.org/library. On our Facebook page, just search for Buckham Memorial Library and give us a follow. And then like us on Instagram as well. Just search for Buckham Memorial Library. And those are great ways to keep in touch with us and figure out all the awesome stuff happening here at your library. And then also to go back and enjoy some of these great videos we've been making during the pandemic. You can find Take and Make Paper Crafts with Linda, Tech Time videos with Bob, some old sewing videos from Annette. We miss you, Annette. You can find gardening videos with Lisa, ukulele videos from Alan, and of course, a bunch of awesome story time videos from me, including the Weekly Read and Fairytale Fridays, plus our ever popular 5-minute bedtime stories. All right, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful December and have a happy, happy New Year. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
welcome to the Rice County Historical Society. I'm Sue Garwood, I'm the Executive Director here, and today we are in the Carlander Family Room. This room functions generally as a meeting room. It also functions as an exhibit space, and on the first and third Tuesdays of every month, it is where the Collections Committee meets. And that meeting always begins actually the day before, when the staff and volunteers relocate the collection of items that have been given to the Historical Society since the last time we met. And I just thought we'd do a little show and tell and talk a little bit about that process. So I am over here at, somebody has donated a flat iron that is corded. Now I'm telling you, today's irons are light in comparison. This is little, but this thing is heavy. Yet it's exciting because it has a cord. Of course, again, today that doesn't sound very exciting, but the irons that would have preceded this, that were heated on a stove, you could have maybe ironed a sleeve, maybe a sleeve in the front of a shirt, and then had to wait till it warmed up again. Or if you were lucky, you had more than one iron and you could change them out on the stove. But ironing was an all-day process, in part because you were waiting for the iron to get hot. So to have a cord, very exciting. She also donated a typewriter. This was a typewriter used in Nuttings, which was Nutting Truck and Caster here in town. And it's a typewriter that was used in the 1950s. This is for those of you that are young enough who have not actually ever worked with the typewriter. This is a pretty good one for its time. And of course, today we are using computers, which are amazing, comparatively speaking. The reason I know the history of this, because the history matters. We don't collect stuff, we're not like an antique store. We collect artifacts that tell a story. So it's really about, tell me more about the artifacts, not some of its history, some of the provenance. I know what we know about the artifacts because we have a donation agreement form. Every single donation, when it comes through the door, we ask that they sign a form. This is a legal document that literally transfers ownership from the donor to the Historical Society. And on this, we ask them to write some things out. Sometimes it's very little. In this particular case, typewriter from Nuttings, 1950s. That's a small amount. As you'll see as we move around the room, some of the items come with much longer histories. But what's important isn't that it's a typewriter. Although that is pretty cool. The important thing is that it was from Nuttings, and from our point of view, the most important is that it's been signed. Until the document is signed, the artifacts aren't ours. And so we don't do anything with them. We won't talk about them at the Collections Committee. We won't process them. We won't even clean them until they are ours. So if ever you bring an artifact in and you say, oh, we don't need that signed, you might not, but we do. Because we also sometimes think of these as breadcrumb trails. I might, in the moment of that conversation, and even maybe for the month, remember exactly which artifacts you brought in. But as you can see around the room, in just 2 weeks, we get a lot of donations to the museum. And so being able to have this path or this listing of what is what and what somebody brought in is invaluable. The next something is a really neat set from Larry Ritchie. Larry Ritchie has been doing research on and some archaeological work on bison bones. But in addition to bison bones, he's actually found some bird bones. Also 3,000 plus years old. And so it's an interesting collection, and donation agreement form, of course, signed and all that sort of thing. He's also written a little bit of history on that. This is one of those moments, again, where the bones are interesting, but it is the fact that they were found in a very specific sinkhole. We know exactly where. He's done some research on them, and maybe we can take a quick shot at exactly how the layout is that he's put these bones together. So this is the collection of items that, bird bones that Larry Ritchie brought in, and this is what I was referring to when I said he wrote something up, which is really great, because he talked about the dates and when he found them and who found them, where they were found, some of the details of that, and then a little bit about his assessment of what he's seeing, and different ways that, and why the birds would have been found in the same hole with the bison. He's got some of the bones arranged by type, but then down here he has this really neat arrangement where you can actually see there's the sternum of the bird. You've got two sets of wings. There's one wing there and the other wing here. Then it goes down into these incredibly long legs. There are some itty-bitty ribs around and other little itty-bitty bones. But this collection of bones would have just been that if he hadn't included the history on and context to the bones. This fabulous box was actually is from the Fleckenstein Brewery and is in pristine condition because the donor who gave it had kept it inside, and in fact her parent had covered it in fabric and had put a cushion under it and that sort of thing, was actually using it as a footstool, and having it been protected from the elements, from the sun, from all that sort of thing, being inside in a clean house, is why it's in such great shape. That history, again, was written on the back side of this form, and that's why because you look at this and you say, golly, this case is in remarkable condition. All the latches work, there's a latch on top, and there you go, and the hinges in the back are in great shape, and all that sort of thing. Maybe somebody modified it, or why is it in such great shape? Well, that's one of the reasons that the story matters, is because we're able to say, well, it's in great shape because it was hidden for over 100 years as an ottoman. This collection actually starts here and goes all the way around the corner, are some artifacts that were just recently removed from the old Farmer Seed and Nursery building. There are probably, well, there are several hundred items here, again, we know in detail this particular form. We actually emailed the form to the donor, and she was able to print it out and fill it out, and it takes both pages and so on to list everything. And so it's, we will be going through this collection. It's important to note we'll be going through this collection and evaluating what of it we really need. The collections, it's part of what the collections committee does, as well as the volunteers. Not every artifact that is offered to us is kept. We have a litmus test that we always ask ourselves. The first is, does it have a Rice County connection? You've seen so far, obviously, they all have a Rice County connection, but that's not enough. The next question is, can we handle it? If any one of these was falling apart, unless the story affiliated with it is extraordinary, we might, for example, take a broken glass if that glass had been in one of the window displays in Northfield during the James Gang shootout, and the glass got broken because of that. That sounds like an extraordinary tale, by the way, but I do know of a private collector who has a dish that actually has a bullet hole in it from that very moment. We'd certainly accept that sort of situation. But this box, for example, is clearly failing with that's not something, the box itself is not something we're going to keep. There are other things that might be in really tough shape that we wouldn't keep. Sometimes the third and final question we ask is it a duplicate? There are a few things we'll keep multiples of, in part because they're either heavily used or we want to have one pretty consistently available for display. And we want to ensure that there is one that, if it gets some light damage over time, that's okay, because we've got one in pristine condition back in the collection. So those are the three questions. Is it from Rice County? can we take care of it, and is it a duplicate? In this particular case, I'm fairly confident that we're going to have duplicates among this collection. We've already received over 1,000 items from the Farmer Seed and Nursery when they closed several years ago. But there are a number of things that are new and unique, and that's kind of exciting. I think perhaps one of my favorite items is in this box. I'll share it with you. It's actually 2 parts. It is a photograph of one of the workers working with this device. So that's super cool. That gives this device context. And what this is a seed sorter. So they would dump seeds out. This is 10 by 10, so you'd get a 100 seeds. And they would make sure that it was 1 seed per hole and that sort of thing. And then they would release it, and they put a packet of seeds here, and they would press a button to release it, and the seeds would all fall into the bucket when this shifts. I'm not going to force it, but in part because I don't know exactly how to make it work, but I have the volunteers who helped work with this do. And part of what they will record when we process the collection is how to safely work with the artifact. What lever do you press to release it to allow the seeds to fall out, etc. At any rate, this is a neat artifact that we didn't have before, so we're definitely going to take that. But in here is also a string of tags. It's a neat thing, and we might keep some in part just to display this, because this is kind of neat, but they're all the same. They are not filled out. They are seed cards and that sort of thing. So we'll keep probably most of it. We'll probably decline some, and then we'll return that to the donor. This is also from Farmer Seed. It's actually a planter for planting potatoes, I believe, larger seeds. And there's a lever release inside that is movable. And as you would use it, this is a product that you would buy. You put your seeds in here, or your potato eyes in here, and you'd press into the ground. You'd lift up on the handle. It would open up. You can see just a little bit. It opens up at the end, which would let that product into the ground, and then you'd close it back up and move on to the next. So it allows you to do some hand planting, but do it quickly. So very cool. We don't just accept old things, we actually have some new things too, and I'll move to the front of the table and show you. This was donated by a member of the Faribault Bike and Ski Club, the Faribault Flyers. Fairly modern, but a neat piece that, because it's modern, it's in good condition. There's very little fading. It's clean, of course, but history isn't just old. History happens all the time. And so it's a neat piece. We know that it came from Tim Madigan, who's actually given a program here at the museum on the history of the Faribault Flyers Club. So that is that particular artifact in great shape. In the bag are some very interesting Korea-era uniforms. They are in the bag because there was some evidence of critters. I don't mean big ones, I mean moths. There were some bodies, some carcasses, frankly, the little moth bodies on the fabric itself. There were no signs of holes. However, anytime, that's part of what we do. When an artifact comes in, we need to look at it to make sure that it's saying yes to the artifact is going to keep it safe. Remember, number 2 is, can we take care of it? If an artifact is beautiful but has the potential for endangering the rest of the collection because there's moths involved, that's a problem. However, we actually have a system for mitigating that. We put anything that we want to take but needs attention, we put it in a plastic bag, and we as you can see, it's wrapped up, still has all the appropriate forms. We've certainly looked at it. And then before it goes into the collection and gets processed, we will put it through one of two treatments. We'll either freeze it in a deep freezer. There's a freeze-thaw cycle. You freeze something for at least 24 hours. You take it out and you thaw it for 24 to 36 hours. You got to be careful about that one. It's got to be exact. And then you can freeze it again for a period of time. And then by the time you take it back out, it's going to be in pretty good shape. Sometimes you might need to do that more than just that one freeze-thaw cycle. Depends on what it is. And if anybody has any questions before you do that yourself, give us a call. Happy to advise on what you're finding. So that's option one. Option two is we actually have a device that heats it up to a minimum of 140 degrees. And we keep it at that temperature. We actually have a probe that we measure on the inside. We keep it at that temperature and for an hour to an hour and a half. And that kills all stages of the moth. And only then do we remove it or let it be with the rest of the collection. And in fact, actually, after we do that process, either the freeze-thaw or the heating process, we vacuum it thoroughly and inspect it. And I mean like really close inspection, making sure that there's nothing still remaining. Because if there is, we can do either of those two processes over again. And then sometimes artifacts come to us in the mail. This is a very new book that was just recently written, and Decades of Blessing, and it talks about her experiences. Part of her life was living here in Faribault, and she put it in the mail to us. And we talked about it, but it is because we're not going to do anything with this yet. We talked about it because she sent it in the mail, and if we said no, we would return it to her. The collections committee is interested in it, but we are not going to do anything more than that until she signs this document. So we'll be putting it in the mail, requesting that she sign it, and when we receive it back, then we will take it to the next steps. And finally, these last two pieces are from Chapie Jewelry here in town, and it's actually a brand new exhibit that we've got coming up. And so these were artifacts that we actually went to the store, and they shared with us some of the treasures that they have from their 100-year-old business, and we looked through some of those things and together made some decisions about what artifacts would be good additions to the collection to be used for exhibit. As I mentioned, not every artifact that we have that is offered that we accept is old. This is actually a Montgomery Ward's catalog, and it is only from 1985. What's unique about this is it's actually in the mailing wrapper, which is super cool, and it is in such a way that we can actually remove the wrapper and look through the catalog, so we can save both the wrapper and the catalog itself, which is really interesting because catalogs are great ways to see the evolution of cost of things, the evolution of toys and materials. When did the first plastic toys come out? You know, we certainly can do Google research, but it's much more powerful to be able to look through a catalog and see the contemporary kinds of toys of its time. You can also take a look at the evolution of fashion. What things were people wearing? You know, that whole ugly Christmas sweater in 1985 wasn't considered an ugly Christmas sweater. It was just a Christmas sweater. And you can find those available for sale in the Montgomery Ward's 1985 Christmas catalog, which we happen to have in our collection. All of these artifacts are valuable in their own right. There is no one artifact that is more valuable than another. Each one has its own context. Each one tells its own story. Each one has its own use and future use, as well as some of them, like the Chapie Jewelry pieces, which will have an almost immediate use because they will be going into an exhibit we hope to open by next summer. All of these artifacts the next steps are to be processed. I think I've shared that with you before, where we have a catalog, a computer database where some volunteers enter in information. A number will be assigned to the artifact so that things that obviously you can see it most clearly with the farmer's seed and nursery, we have that photograph, which is great, and we have that device that I talked about, but they shouldn't be stored together because that photograph is going to get damaged. So we'll assign numbers so that they can be repaired together in the future. Different things will go in storage, some things will go on exhibit. All of them are available to researchers as you come in or for future exhibits. If you want to know how Farmer Seed and Nursery was, what their advertising was like in the past, these artifacts that we have that are catalogs will be among the many things that we'll be able to pull out of the storage facility for you to look at. Again, some of these will be going on display almost immediately, and others will be available for future use. If you're interested in taking a look at any of these things or any of the many other artifacts that we have added over the last 95 years, you're welcome to come on down. We're on the east end of the Rice County Fairgrounds at 1814 Northwest 2nd Avenue. You can find us on the web at www.rchistory.org or give us a call at 507-332-2121. Rice County Historical Society, preserving the past for future generations.
First United Bank and the Junior Board of Directors is proud to support Faribault Community Television.
That's it for this month's edition of FCTV. Interest rates are still low, so it's not too late to stop in and see if we can help you with any of your financing needs.